Kinetic News Daily. Glad you could join us. We are real, we are live, and we're here to get you what we got. Hope you like, subscribe. Hope you get something out of the show. Please leave comments. Help us out. Jump over to PayHip and get yourself a book. But let's get into the news because the G7 shockwave, which it hasn't even hit yet, but it will. This is about the Ukraine issue here that should have been ended long ago. I thought personally that this Ukraine deal would have been over by this past summer. And here we are coming on another year later, and all the deaths that just continue. This has gotten out of hand. Uh, we don't even know who is feeding information to Zelensky. I don't know where the information's coming from. And it doesn't seem Donald Trump does either. Um, but it seems to be pointing at, well, the European leaders. Avon Baines is pushing for more air defense in a long, drawn out diplomatic squeeze, which is costing thousands, has to be, if not in the millions, at least close to it, of casualties, lives lost. And the Ukraine, I don't even know if they got another generation worth of men. They've all been rounded up and taken to the front so they can be used as targets. It seems like, but while the G7 leaders are all sipping champagne in French resorts and wherever they're hanging out at with their big, thick steaks while everybody else on the planet starves. Uh, Trump just came off of a phone call with Putin and Zelensky. He's been talking to both of them amongst all the other stuff he's been doing. Quite a plateful. And I give him a bad time for not getting certain things done, but we all have to remember he's got a whole lot on his plate he's got to deal with. So gonna have to cut him some slack on that. But declaring war is what's going on in the Ukraine, and we need to end that war. It's easy to settle if you ask me. Just take Zelensky and take him to the Russian front and hand him over to Putin. I know that sounds bad, but that's the way I see it. Uh, we can't even get ink dry on an Iran deal before war breaks out, then, or more problems start there. We need to end this Ukraine deal. We definitely need to stop funding it. We got enough fires burning all over the planet Earth, and Zelensky is the problem here. And matter of fact, I don't have the show to you because I'm having computer problems hooking up. Um, but President Trump at the G7, Zelensky tried going up and talking to DJT, and he did rightfully so what I would have done. He didn't even look at Zelensky. It was like he heard him or felt him or somebody got in his ear and said he's coming. uh, Little big man's on the way, and Trump just turned around and walked away. Just ignored him. Didn't give him the time. Didn't even look at him. So I doubt Zelensky's smart enough to get the point out of that, but whatever. Um, the, the establishment wants years and years and years of negotiations, along with hundreds of billions more in aid so they can steal it, which is exactly what they've done. We've already given over $500 billion to the Ukraine war. I mean, my God, we cannot afford this. Um, You want to stop inflation? We need to stop inflation. You want to save lives? We need to start saving lives. That means we got to stop funding these damn wars and this insanity. That means freeze it all. Freeze it. Freeze the funds going to California because there are lunatics just stealing the money there. Freeze the funds going to the Ukraine. Freeze everything. Nobody's cooperating. Nobody's doing nothing. So, we just got to call it out. The corporate media wants us all to think there are peace deals all over and everything can be worked out and nothing's a big deal. But that's not at all what it really is. And it isn't really complicated either. And they try to make you think it's all so high powered and complicated. It's not. It's about their complication is how can they steal all this money and nobody notice? That's what it is. How can we keep the floodgates of money pouring into the criminals' hands? And how long will the American people just let it keep happening? We need to shut it down. We need to shut it all down. This isn't complicated. It's destroying America. It's draining us. We can't keep doing this. I'm going with let Putin have the Ukraine. Give it to him. I don't even care. The only ones that care about the Ukraine, besides the actual Ukrainian people, are the corporations who want to uh, um, embezzle, steal, confiscate, take over all the minerals under the ground. That's what they want. They want the gas, they want the lithium, they want, if it's value under the ground, that's what the corporate issues want. They don't give a damn about the Ukrainian people. They don't even care about Putin or Russia. They just want to solidify their grip, their grasp, their mark on the land so they can confiscate everything underneath it in the name of, well, their profits. And that's what it's all about. That's what it's always about. That's what it always is about. And everybody knows that. So, and that's the hard truth, the mainstream media is terrified to say that out loud. I'm not. I'm pissed off. This is costing us too much. It's costing too many lives needlessly, needlessly. And all of this was started by a Barack Obama coup of the Ukraine back in 2014. So let's not forget that. That's where it started with a Democrat coup of the Ukraine to start a war with Russia. That's what this is all about. So the best thing DJT can do is get it off the damn table. Get the corporates out of there. Give the Ukraine, if if there was a way DJT could just grab Zelensky and take him to the damn front line and say, "Here's a present, Mr. Putin. He's all yours. We got a country over here to rebuild." I would bet you. I would bet you. I guarantee, even though there's no way for me to do that, that Vladimir Putin and the Russian people would actually be so damn happy to get this thing over with and done. They don't want to invade and take over the Ukraine. They just do not want UN ballistic missiles sitting on their damn border. That's what they don't want. And that's what the agreement was in the 90s. And so the US, the UN, the EU, we're all guilty for breaking that. Russia did nothing wrong. Russia's doing exactly what we would have done to defend our borders had somebody moved in on the Canadian border, just as JFK did when Russia pulled nukes into the Cuba, known as the Cuban Missile Crisis. Let's not forget that. So they're the same thing. The best thing that can happen for everybody all around the board, the entire planet Earth. The only one's going to lose out on this deal is the EU, NATO, The corporations who have invested so much money into this takeover of the Ukraine and Vladimir Zelensky. Those are the only ones that lose. Everybody else on the planet wins big time. The killing stops and the rebuilding can begin. And there's going to be a lot of mourning and sorrow with that. But Russia, I would guarantee you, the Russian people themselves, along with the finance and the help of Vladimir Putin and the Russian people, will help rebuild the Ukraine. No, they don't want to take it over. No, they're not going to take it over. But everybody has to understand that it is absolutely imperative that they secure their borders, just like we do. So that's what I got on that. And I hope you liked it. Hope you subscribe to us. Hope you share. Hope you give us some comments and tell me what you like, what you don't like, and what you agree with and what you don't agree with. And if you got any help on making us better, well, that would be very welcome too. So we hope to see you back here next time. Jump over to PayHip and get yourself a book. They're real cheap. Help us out. Um, we hope to see you here next time. This is Kinetic News Daily. We are live, we are real, and right now we are out. We'll see you later.